Hi, good evening, everyone. Thank you for logging in. We are just going to give it probably just another minute just to get some more people logged in to view tonight's Dual Credit 101 presentation. We're so happy to have you join us. Up on your screen right now, you'll see a QR code. If you are able to, we would love for you to scan this code so that way we can track you for attendance purposes. We'd love to reach back out to you just to check in, making sure that you are good with all of the processes for dual credits. If you're unable to log in or scan the QR code, we will be posting it later on our social media sites. Right below, you'll see that we are on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and TikTok. Again, we'll just give it another minute just to get another minute just to give some more people to get logged in. Thank you so much for joining us. Again, if you aren't able to scan that QR code, not a big deal. We will be posting that QR code later on our social media sites so that way we can get you logged in and checked in for attendance. Thank you so much, guys. You are logged in to view the Dual Credit 101 presentation with Del Mar College. Thank you for joining us. How about in the chat you put in what high school you're representing? We'd love to see who's out there representing our Coastal Bend high schools. We'd love to see if we have any homeschool students out there joining us, viewing. All right, I think we are going to go ahead and get started. Our director, Mr. Bob Montes, is going to introduce the team.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us this evening for this Dual Credit 101 here at Del Mar College. Normally, we do have host this event live on our campus, or one of our campuses. However, we're going this new norm with this virtual presentation. The Dual Credit office consists of 5 coordinators, and they are Emily Gonzalez, Gary Rivera, Alyssa Ramirez, Mario Flores, and Amanda Cisneros. Myself, again, I'm Bob Montes. I'm the director of Del Mar College's Dual Credit Program, or the Early College Programs. Tonight, you're going to hear a lot of information, useful information for your son or daughter, or your student, for yourselves, on how to obtain college credit while you're in high school. It's a great opportunity. We love to serve you. We're here at the Coastal Bend. We're your local community college. So just enjoy our presentation, and I'll hand it back to Nicole for lots of information. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bob. Again, like Mr. Montes said, my name is Nicole Kinzerski. I am your dual credit coordinator. I specialize in your CTE programs. Those are your career technical education programs. So let's dive right in. So what is dual credit? We get a lot of students who ask us, what exactly is dual credit? We like to tell students it's basically taking one class and getting credit for both high school and college all at the same time. So you're basically taking a class like English 4. Everybody has to take English 4 in high school, right? That is a high school requirement. So why not take dual credit English? So you could take dual credit English 1301, dual credit English 1302, and you get college credit for both those college courses and high school credit all at the same time. So by taking that, you'll get 6 college credit hours and your required high school English credit by completing those 2 courses. A lot of our families and students, counselors even, they come to us asking, what is dual credit versus AP? There's a lot of misconceptions out there. A lot of people have questions trying to differentiate what the difference is between the 2. Some of the differences include dual credit students earn college credit upon successfully completing the dual credit course versus an AP student. An AP student must pass a test to earn that college credit. Also, students in dual credit receive grades differently. Students in dual credit will receive 2 grades. They're going to receive 1 grade at midterm and the second grade as a final grade, versus students who take AP courses will receive a grade every grading period. So different courses can be different requirements. So depending on what that AP class is, it really depends for you to make sure to look it up with that college to see what exactly score you need to get for that AP exam. But again, it's important to know the differences between dual credit and AP. One of the biggest benefits of taking dual credit is definitely the cost. Depending on where you live in the Coastal Bend, students pay anywhere from $394 for tuition. Out-of-district students will pay $544 for tuition. However, our dual credit students pay $99.99 for a dual credit course. So that is a huge savings. This can equate to over $3,000 for students wanting to go on to a 2-year institution. Going to a community college, that's almost $3,000 in savings. For students who want to go on to a 4-year public institution within the state of Texas, that's almost a savings of $9,000. So definitely taking advantage of dual credit while in high school can definitely pay off in the long run. This kind of maps out what that savings looks like. It even breaks it down for you for students who want to go outside the state of Texas and even go into a private institution. Again, the savings in the long run is a great amount. If you'll see here, you'll even see that public out-of-state universities, a savings of almost $22,000. We also have students who can apply for FAFSA. Did you know that dual credit students can qualify for the Texas Public Education Grant? Here at Del Mar College, our students can qualify for this free money. It is first come, first serve, income-based payment, income-based grant. And again, this is free money. Your students would not have to pay this money back. We definitely encourage our students to apply by May 1st to qualify to get, again, the Texas Public Education Grant. They would need to complete a FAFSA to qualify for this grant. We have put up the number for financial aid here at Del Mar College if you have further questions about this grant. Students at Del Mar College wanting to be a dual credit student can also apply for the Del Mar Foundation Office scholarships. All scholarships with Del Mar College Foundation is due April 30th. So just like traditional students, our dual credit students are able to qualify and apply for Foundation Office scholarships. These could be merit-based scholarships and need-based scholarships. So it's always a great idea to apply and see what you can qualify for. Many dual credit students across the Coastal Bend have a wide variety of ways to take dual credit courses. We have a lot of students who take courses online. We have many of our ISD students taking classes right there at their high school, being taught by an ISD teacher. We also have students coming to our Del Mar East and West campus, and even our campus located in the Northwest Center. So students can take courses a wide variety of these different ways. We even offer 16 and 8-week courses. What types of courses can your student take? Your students can take a wide variety of courses. We always encourage your students to take core curriculum courses, especially the way that we are heading. We're trying to get your students to be on a correct pathway. We want to make sure that they're taking the classes that are correct for their particular major they plan on going to after high school. So we always encourage our students to stick with the 42-hour core. We at Del Mar College also offer students career and technical education courses. Those courses can include automotive, cosmetology, culinary, bioscience, instrumentation, and even welding. It's important that all students check with their ISD and their high school counselor to see exactly what courses are offered for their high school. list of some of our most popular CTE, career technical education programs that we offer here at Del Mar. Again, automotive, cosmetology, culinary, all of these programs do offer many different certifications. For instance, our fire students can actually graduate before they graduate high school with a fire certification. Welding students can graduate with a level 1 certification. We even have amazing cosmetology students who graduate with a state license before they even graduate high school. These are some really great opportunities that your students can get some real hands-on workforce experience. These particular CTE programs do require additional admissions packets. For instance, our fire and EMT students will be required for a background check, a drug screening, and a physical, as well as an orientation. These students will be doing the same training our fire cadets in the Corpus Christi and our EMT people have to complete as well. So these are the same licensing that our traditional students have to complete. They're getting true hands-on experience, putting out live fires, doing ride-alongs, getting, again, hands-on experience. Our cosmetology students are doing just the same as well. Those students also have to attend a mandatory orientation where student and parent attendance is mandatory. So now you know a little bit more about some of the dual credit programs that are available to your students. How exactly do you apply? Well, here's the application process. There are 5 simple steps. Just like any other college, you are going to want to start with the Apply Texas application, and that's applytexas.org. The next step is for your student to request an official high school transcript. The third step would be to submit proof of the bacterial meningitis vaccine. 4 would be to take a TSI test. Many high schools in the area are offering the TSI test on their campus, or you can go to delmar.edu/testing to sign up for a test with us here on our campus. Step 5 is the most important step, and that is to complete a dual credit registration form. And you can get that form from your counselor or on the dual credit website. The form looks a little something like this, and this is exactly where you would put all of the courses you plan on taking with us for the fall and summer sessions. You'll see here that the form does require your signature, the student, the parent signature, and even the counselor signature. It's very important that we know that the counselor and the school and the student are all on the same page. We've also conveniently put all of the steps that's needed to complete the application process right here on the form. For students who need assistance in completing the Apply Texas application, our Outreach and Enrollment Department does offer several virtual Apply Texas workshops. Here are the days that they are hosting those workshops, and they've also provided an information email for you to get some more details. We will be posting this information later on our social media sites, so that way you can try to grab that information later on. Like I said, Del Mar College does offer the TSI test here on our campus. We also offer that test remotely. This test is also offered on Saturdays as well. Again, here is the website, which is delmar.edu/TSI. Another helpful hint for your students who are taking the test on their high school campus, by visiting the TSI website here at Del Mar, we also provide you some really helpful practice sites, and it also has some really great resources to help your students study. So even though they're not taking the test with us here at Del Mar, we've provided some great resources for your students to be a little bit more successful in taking that test. Some students may qualify for an exemption while taking the TSI. So if they have taken an ACT, an SAT, a PSAT, or even the STAR EOC, depending on what their scores are, can depend on whether they've met some exemptions. It is important to visit the Del Mar Dual Credit website for further information on what those exemptions are. Also, our local high school counselors have this information on hand to let you know or let your student know if they've met these exemption qualifications. Now, we want to make sure that your students are going to have all of this information submitted by our priority deadline. Now, our priority deadline is March 17th, especially if we have students wanting to come to Del Mar for the Summer 1 and Summer 2 sessions. It's very important that we get the Apply Texas, the transcript, the shot record, the TSI scores, and that registration form all submitted by that March 17th deadline. For students wanting to go into the fall semester, we highly encourage you to meet that priority deadline as well. However, you do have until July 17th for those wanting to come to fall to submit all of those documents. It is important to note that registration does open April 5th. So if you are wanting to do, again, the summer sessions, either Summer 1 or Summer 2, it's very important that you get it in by that priority deadline so we can get the classes that you want before they fill up. We at the Dual Credit Office have recently revamped a lot of our social media pages. In fact, we just joined the TikTok world. And so we do have social media on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and again on TikTok. You can find us at DMC_Delmar Dual Credit. We've listed here our office number and our email address. So do not be shy. We encourage you to ask us as many questions so that way we can get you registered for classes next fall. At this point in time, does anybody have any questions? We really encourage you to put those questions in the chat, and we want to be able to get those questions answered for you. Remember, important helpful hints is to make sure to communicate with your counselor. It's important to have that communication and establish that communication with your counselor now, so that way your counselor is aware that you want to be taking dual credit courses. If we have any homeschool families out there, we'd love to grow our homeschool population. In the last couple of years, we have seen our homeschool numbers going up. We, as dual credit coordinators, Bob had introduced us all earlier. We are available to meet for advising sessions. We can help you. Again, our email address is there. Definitely let us know if you would like to set up an advising session so we can get you set up for the fall semester. I'm going to check in with our coordinators to see if they see any of the questions coming through on YouTube or Facebook.
Just as a reminder, is that everyone needs to what we want to do is we want to help students take first try to navigate through the 42-hour core if they're going to the academic sides of the programs. So sticking to the 42-hour core is crucial, and those are the most transferable credits towards a public university here in the state of Texas, and some private universities as well. So when you're looking to go into some private universities, you definitely want to get with those institutions to make sure that the courses that they're taking align with the courses they take at the private universities or these universities and colleges outside of the state of Texas. But the 42-hour core, it will transfer to all the Texas state universities and colleges.
That's a good point, Bob. In fact, we were at a high school today, and that is definitely a big conversation we were having with our students, making sure that they know that it's never too early to start thinking about college and life after high school graduation. So start planning that out now and having a list of what schools you plan on going to after high school, so that way you can start researching that important information. How can these Del Mar dual credit classes benefit me in the future, and how do they transfer to my desired college? Those are great questions to start asking yourself.
Looks like we have a question about why the meningitis vaccination. Meningitis vaccinations are required even though your student may be taking some online classes, and you're thinking, why would my student ever need one if they're not going to ever attend a face-to-face class? Well, all students have access to the Del Mar College campus for tutoring, library. So the state, under the age of 21, the state does require that all students are vaccinated with the bacterial meningitis shot. Now, if there are some exemptions, you would just get with you can get with our office or look on the Texas Department of Health and Human Services website for more information on that.
Great question.
I think we see another one. Should I register online or talk to my counselor first? Definitely, as Nicole had mentioned, you definitely want to talk to your high school counselor. That's where it all begins. Regardless if you want to take summer classes, fall or spring, you have to talk to your counselor first, because the classes that you take have to count for some type of high school credit. So therefore the counselor piece is very critical, so they know that you will obtain that high school credit and get that out of the way. Now, my coordinators and myself, we will work with you on the advising part of the college side. So we work a close conjunction together. So this way, again, talk to your counselor. Now, if you're a homeschool parent, you, the parent, are the counselor for your child. So you will just make an appointment with my office, and we can go ahead and discuss the different options for your son or daughter.
Great questions, guys. We have a question here coming in saying, can my student take a summer class if they are going into the 9th grade this fall? So that's a really great question. It really depends on what ISD you belong to, so what high school your student goes to. For instance, we were at Odom High School today, and Odom ISD actually allows true freshmen. So 8th graders going into the 9th grade are able to start signing up for dual credit classes for the upcoming fall semester. However, some ISDs like CCISD, they do not necessarily allow true freshmen to sign up for dual credit classes straight out of their fall semester. So it's important to get with your counselor to confirm whether your school allows freshmen to take dual credit classes. Bob, do you have anything to add for that?
Yeah, definitely. You definitely want to take consideration also the students. So you remember, if they're coming in from 8th grade, you're basically having your child go from 8th grade, bypass high school, and go into college. So really look into, really take into consideration some schools that do allow freshmen to take classes at the beginning of their freshman year. One of the things, again, you have to take in consideration getting acclimated to the high school world and then going from high school into college. It's a little different. So just making sure that the student is not only academically ready, but they're ready to go into transition into into a college world, because they are treated exactly how every other college student will be. If you have any other information or questions about that, and you want to talk to me, that's fine. I'm always available to speak to anyone, or any of my coordinators will be available, and we can discuss that a little bit further. But again, it's if you're going through a high school, the high school will determine first if your child will be able to attend the fall. But typically it's the spring or the summer going into their sophomore year.
Great. We have another question here. We have a first-time dual credit family wanting to know college credit while in high school. Historically, what type of success do you see? I do like to mention that we have an 85% pass rate for our dual credit students. Typically, we are seeing our students highly successful. In fact, pre-COVID, a majority of our students were taking classes online. So as we moved to this virtual world where more and more students were taking classes online, our dual credit students were actually just fine. They weren't having to transition because a majority of our students were already taking classes through the virtual way anyway. We do see that students do tend to take more of our core courses. We want to encourage them to take maybe an art or a speech class. We also have course sequencing on the dual credit website that walks students through from their freshman year all the way to their senior year. We've provided different course suggestions, and you can download those course sequences straight from the dual credit website. And then also just talking with your counselor. Your counselor is a great asset. They work with students and advise students every day. And then also depending on what their TSI scores. can also determine what classes they qualify to take. So again, just having that big conversation with the counselor can definitely help. And again, us coordinators are here to walk you through any sort of advising sessions. And our number again is here up on the screen. Don't be afraid to reach out to us and contact us, and we'd love to set up an advising session.
I said we have a question here. Do we have to get everything done by the 17th of March? That is a short time. Well, that is a priority deadline. So that means that since we do have registration starting the first week of April, but what the high schools, they want to gather all that information. They need to assess all that, making sure, working with your student to ensure the classes are indeed going to be counted for high school, and making sure for us to ensure that those are transferable credits. So we ask that it's a priority. Doesn't mean that you cannot, after the March 17th, the Del Mar College will not register you or your child. It just means that that's where we want to start. We want to start getting information early, because we do register in the first week in April. Now, a lot of those classes will fill up. So again, you're fighting for some of those students are fighting for spots with our regular population students here at Del Mar College. So you definitely want to be able to get into those classes before they fill up, because a lot of popular courses are like your English, your speeches, your psychologies, your sociologies, your college algebra. So there's only a few seats. So make sure that you have, the earlier the better is always going to be the best thing. Our final registration is in July 17th. Now, it's imperative to talk to your counselors, because that's Del Mar College's deadline. Your high school your own high school may have an earlier deadline for you. So it's very important for you to talk to your counselor to make sure you know what their high school deadline is. And definitely, if you have any questions, you can contact our office listed 698-1634, or you can make an appointment. Right now, the college campus, we're not fully open yet. We are doing virtual advising or virtual appointments too. So if you want to contact us and make an appointment with myself or any of our other coordinators, we definitely can do that to discuss it a little bit further.
Great. Nice. We have another question here in the chat. And I see the question is asking, does the grade made in a dual credit class also count as the high school grade? Could this adversely affect my straight A student's rank? That's a really great question. Different schools do offer different levels of ranking for dual credit and AP courses. They do have a greater weight than a typical high school course. So whatever grade the student gets as a dual credit student will go on their college transcript and their high school transcript. So it will be the same grade. We do offer a letter grade for just their college transcripts, but there is a percentage grade that we do send over to the high schools. But again, it will be the same grade. So that's why it is important to make sure that we have that important conversation with our students, making sure that they are up to that rigor and that responsibility of being a dual credit student.
And to piggyback on that question or that answer that Nicole mentioned, also just to make sure you, again, talk to your counselors, because there are some times when some schools may allow you to take college classes as dual credit, but not receive the ranking. For example, maybe there's a summer session or an evening class. So again, talking to your high school counselor to ensure what your high school does is going to be very important when you're having those discussions with them, especially when you're taking summer classes.
Yes, sir. We have another question here saying, what if a student is currently in 8th grade and does not have a high school transcript to submit for registration? That is a great question. That's a great question. So we can take that transcript several different ways. We've accepted the middle school transcript or middle school report card. Also, once the student is registered for classes, because again, typically we've gotten true freshmen in their spring semester, we can get a transcript that just lists the classes that the student will be taking in high school. It really all depends. Bob, do you want to add on that?
Yeah, so since the report cards won't be generated, we have in the summertime we do have two summer sessions. We have one that it's this year begins, I believe around June 1st, around that time. So since many of the schools will still be in session, that report card won't be generated where it shows that the student is now passed over to ninth grade. So the very earliest that a student that's coming from eighth grade to ninth grade can take a course is in August, or excuse me, is the second summer session that ends in August. So again, but also it's going to go back to the high school, whether your high school is going to allow you. Many of the high schools that we work with locally do not allow any eighth graders to take courses they're going into, or incoming freshmen from eighth grade to ninth grade, their first semester. So again, talking to those counselors to ensure that everything goes through them first, before we can make anything. But the earliest would be the second summer session, because it's not the report card hadn't been will not be transcribed before summer one starts.
These are all really great questions. We appreciate you taking the time out and join us. Please continue to put in your questions there in the chat on Facebook and on YouTube. We have another question coming in here, and it says, is dual credit available online? Yes, we do offer dual credit online. A majority of our core curriculum courses are English, history, math, sociology, psychology. A lot of those type courses are offered online. Sometimes we even offer dual credit specific courses, sections, meaning your student will be in a specific section with just other dual credit students. However, there are courses like in our continuing, our certified technical education courses, our CTE courses, like our welding, our cosmetology, automotive. A lot of those courses are not able to go online because those are hands-on type of courses. Those courses do require seat time required by the state of Texas. So a lot of those courses cannot be given online because those students do have required lab hours. So it does become a little tricky where those classes cannot be offered in that format.
When taking online courses, you can check with your high school. The high schools that we partner with, they have a built-in time period into the student schedule where they go into a computer lab and they're able to go in 5 days a week to work on their coursework. So and they're facilitated by an ISD facilitator who kind of works with our faculty. So they're not the teacher. The teacher is the Del Mar faculty member, but they're going to have a facilitator kind of helping them navigate through the course. Now, does it mean that they only have to do their classwork in person at their high school? No, it doesn't. There's going to be times where they're going to need a laptop or computer access at home to finish up the assignments. So when considering online courses, make sure that you have the proper technology that's going to be utilized for those courses that are needed for them. Just to kind of making sure that's, I mean, we have a lot of courses like Nicole had said that we offer 16 weeks, we offer 18 weeks, we offer hybrid courses. It just depends on what your high school and what your preference of your child or the student prefer.
Yes, thank you, Bob. Again, thank you all so much for joining us. Up on the screen that you see now, again, is a picture of all of our amazing dual credit coordinators. We have listed what high schools they oversee. In addition, we have their contact information. Do not be a stranger. Do not be scared to reach out to us. We would love to answer more of these questions. Contact us via email. Those are our Del Mar College office phone numbers. Feel free to reach out to us there. We'd love to set up some virtual advising sessions to help your students It is our goal to help them be successful. We want to help them along the way. And we want you to join our Viking Dual Credit family. So don't be a stranger. Our contact information is there. And again, thank you all so much for taking the time out to join us this evening.
And once again, this video, is recorded, so this will be available on our Facebook and the Del Mar YouTube. So if you know of anybody else that may have missed this presentation, please feel free to share this with them and let them know that we are here to help serve the community here at Del Mar College. And on behalf of Dr. Escamilla and all the administration and staff, we thank you again for joining us. And again, like Nicole said, we will hopefully see you and welcome you to our part of our Del Mar family.